Hi guys, Alok Shrivastava from Network Nuts. So in this video we are going to create a Kubernetes cluster, and we'll be doing the things manually. We will not be using the Ansible as we had done it in the last video. And a small change that also I had done is that we will be using Ubuntu machines, not the CentOS and the RHEL. The reason behind this is that in the CKA certification also they gives you the Ubuntu machine, so we will be more comfortable, right, working on that, like that. Yes, we are comfortable working with the Ubuntu machine, so we'll be using a machine, and you are allowed to access the Kubernetes.io documentation in the certification also, and in your job also. So we'll be taking the benefit of accessing the Kubernetes.io documentation and seeing how we can install a complete Kubernetes cluster just referring the Kubernetes.io. We need not to cram anything, we need not to mug up anything. Everything is mentioned there in the documentation. All I have to do is that, and all you have to do is that, use your common sense, read it carefully, and do the job. And one more thing that I'm going to do here, which is slightly different, that we will be installing a slightly previous version of the Kubernetes, say 1.18. The latest one is 1.19, and once it is installed, the 1.18 is installed, then might be down the line in the next video we'll be seeing how to upgrade the cluster from 1.18 to 1.19. So these are going to be the objectives for this video, but first we'll be doing the installation part. So let's come and do the installation.
So here we are, and the first thing that we need to do is that we need to have 3 virtual machines minimum, guys. You need 3 virtual machines. So I have got these 3 virtual machines already available. I'll just show you the configurations. So this is going to be my master, and on all the machines I'm running Ubuntu as the OS. There is a reason behind it, which I'll tell you why I'm using Ubuntu. So I go to the settings. So this is going to be by my master. So it has got around 4 GB of RAM and 2 core of CPU, which is required. And then I have got one LAN card which is in the NAT mode, which is obviously going to connect my virtual machines to the internet. And I have got the second LAN card also, which is in the internal network. So this will be used to communicate with my Kubernetes nodes on the local network. And one thing which I am doing here is that, or you can also do it, if you wanted to do SSH from your base machine, like my base machine which I am using is elementary Linux, right? So what I will be doing, I'll be going onto the NAT adapter, go to the advanced, click on the port forwarding. So by default you will have nothing here. So you can add a rule here. Give it any name, say SSH, host IP is 127.0.0.1, and say host port I give 4 times 2, 2222. It can be any free port, and the guest port is 22. That simply means, guys, if I hit my local machine, my base machine, on loop back on port number 4 times 2, it is going to hit me on this Kubernetes master. So this will make my life easier when I have to do a lot of copy paste from the Kubernetes.io website. So that you should be doing. I click here and I start this machine. That's all. It's a fresh machine, nothing there, only the Ubuntu is installed. In the same manner, I will go to the second node, sorry, the first node. The first node has got around 3500 MB of RAM and 1 core of processor. Same stuff here, guys. One will be in the NAT mode and the another will be in the internal network. In the NAT mode, I will again go to the port forwarding. You will have nothing here. Add it. Now you cannot use the same port. So I give SSH 127.0.0.1. This will be 2223, right? 2223. And the port number is 22. So when I hit my local machine's port number 2223, it's going to hit my node 1. Click OK. That's it. Just start it. Meanwhile, I'll show you the second node. Check the settings. Here I have got around 3500 MB of RAM and it has got 2 cores of CPU. So I had intentionally changed the cores here. Again NAT and one internal. The IPs are already given, I'll show it to you. Go here and here I will add it as SSH 127.0.0.1 and it's 2224, right? And the guest port is 22. That's all. Okay, and let me start this. So all the 3 machines are ready. I'll show you the configurations and all the things. And what is the benefit of giving that NAT thing, which now I'm going to show it to you. So if I wanted to access the master, so I had to go to the master, go to the console of this master, right? Supply the password, whatever the password is. This is going to be a lengthy topic, but it's very interesting. And I open the terminal and I do a sudo su. I want the root access. So I have to work like this, right? On control node I have to work like this. Then on the node 1 also I have to go this. So to avoid this, to avoid moving here, we had that NAT entries. So the benefit is that I will just let these machines running. I will click here my operating system, my base machine terminal, and I do a SSH of alloc at 127.0.0.1 and the port number is 4 times 2. Right, so this is taking me to the control node. Wow, see here, it is control node. I do a sudo su. I supply the password. So that's my control node, guys. And I open one more tab. I do a SSH alloc at 127.0.0.1 and the port number is 2223, right? Remember that. Again supply the password. This is going to be my node 1. Yes, I do a sudo su. Supply the password. Wonderful. So that makes my life easy. I'll be easily moving from here to there and will be able to copy and paste from the browser here. And the third machine I do SSH alloc at 127.0.0.1. Port number is 2224. Wow, that's wonderful. I supply the password. And again I do a sudo su. So guys, that's why we had given the NAT rules. I had supplied the NAT rules that make my life easy. Now, let me show you the IPs and all the things. So this, make sure the swap should be off on all the machines. So swap is on control node and swap on -s. Okay, it is on. So I need to off it. Swap off -a and please put up an entry. Remove the entry from the HCFS tab, right? So that it should not be available after the reboot. That's wonderful. Now check on the node 2, swap on -s. Okay, fine. I don't have the swap. So that means the entry is already being commented out in the HCFS tab. It is wonderful. So guys, first thing that you need to do is that make sure that the swap is off. I'm using Ubuntu and the IP address. Let's check the IP address. My control node is 100. My node 1 is 10.0.0.1 and my node 2 is 10.0.0.2. So if you have got hardware, more hardware, feel free to add more machines. And what I had done, because we don't have the DNS, so I have the entry in the etc host file, right? So this file, so 10.0.1, 100 and 2. Make sure all the machines should be able to talk to each other using the names, so that you can copy the etc host file from one machine to another machine. And let me show it to you here also, right? Wonderful. So I will just check it. I do a ping of node1.example.com. Yes, I am able to access. And I do a ping of node2.example.com. I am able to access. I am good with that. Now the network part is ready. The machines are ready. Now we have to start with the Kubernetes installation. It's very simple, guys. It's very simple. All you have to do is that you need not to remember all these things, right? You can simply open the kubernetes.io website and refer the documentation from there. Why I am explaining you this? Because in the exam also you are allowed to open the kubernetes.io, right? Go to the documentation. You should be very good in searching the things, finding the things, as it the documentation of the Kubernetes is huge. So unless you have done the practice, don't think that okay fine, I'll just search it and do the things. Trust me, you won't be able to do it. You will be able to do it only at least you have used the documentation and done the lab for a couple of times. Just merely thinking that oh yes, everything is on the documentation, I'll be able to do it. Trust me, you won't be able to do it. At least do it once, and you should be good in search. So I just do a kube adm install, which what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the Kubernetes cluster. Installing the kube adm, click here. You're allowed to do this, right? So need not to stress yourself in remembering all these things. It's very simple. Just follow the instructions now. Right. The first thing that I had to do is that I need to have the bridging enabled, right? So the commands are there. All I have to do is that I need to enable the bridging. So this is something that we learned in our Red Hat trainings, RSCSA and RSCI. I need to copy this. Now I need to do this on all the machines, right? So the reason of doing SSH is this. I can simply do a copy and paste here. That's all. Wonderful. Second is I need to do the enable the Cctl. So I copy this here again. I'm first accessing the control machine, then I'll be repeating the same for the node 1 and node 2. Job done. So the bridging is enabled. That's good. So that the file that it has created is k8s.conf. You will see there k8s.conf is being accessed by it, right? So just supply this. It's all done. Adding this, see here, applying k8s.conf, right? Now once it is done, you can just simply scroll down. Need not to check the firewall. You can disable the firewall, right? Ubuntu, it's known as the firewall, so it's disabled on the machines. I check here also. Yes, the firewall is disabled on all the machines. The reason behind working on Ubuntu is that it's good to use it. You will find the reason very soon why I'm focusing here on making a cluster using the Ubuntu machines. In the previous videos, if you have remembered, using the Ansible, I had used the RHEL machines or the CentOS, right? So I need not to go through this ports stuff. Now I need to install the runtime. Runtime means the right, your Docker or Containerd or CRIO. I'll be installing the Docker. Now the packages are required as C, the kubeadm, kubelet and kubectl. So what we can do, we can just simply go here, first update it, add the repository for the Kubernetes and install it. So just copy it, right? I'm updating myself. Copy this, go to the control node, paste it here. It's easy. You need to remember the steps, you need to remember the logic. You never need to cram the commands. If you can look up, don't cram, and you are allowed to do this whether you are working or you are giving the certifications. You are allowed to access kubernetes.io. So why not use it? Understand the logic, what we are doing. So I'm updating it. Perfect. It's done. Successful. The second step I need to do is that I need to have the GPG key added, right? I copy it, I paste it here. I need to do this steps on all the machines. Okay, then add the repository, right? Then finally install the package, update it and then install it. So follow the instructions, read it. You should have a habit of reading the documentation. And then okay, what slight change I'm going to do, I'm going to install a specific version of Kubernetes, of kubelet. Not if I just press enter here, it's going to install the latest one, 1.19. I don't want that. I want a specific version, say 1.118. The reason I am going for 1.18 is that then in the coming videos I'll show you how to upgrade the Kubernetes cluster from say 1.18 to 1.19, which is the latest one. So you can specify the versions like this. Kubelet is equal to 1.18 18 backslash asterisk means the latest one in the 1.18, right, is equal to 1.18. You can also specify the version like but 1.17 or something, but I'm using this 1.18 backslash asterisk. So that's way you are specifying a specific version of the kubelet and the kubeadm, right? I'm not going with the defaults one because then I'll be showing you how to upgrade from 1.18 to 1.19. Press enter here. Yeah, 1.18 8-00 is the one which it is going to install. So you have learned one more thing, how to install a specific version. Wonderful. Let's move on. Let it finish and then we will proceed further. So the packages are installed. Everything. Right. Look what I'm doing. I'm just following the instructions. Right. You need not to hold it for the updates. That means you don't want to update these packages when you are updating the OS, right? So you can, if you wish, you can hold it. So when we are doing the upgrade, we need to do a unhold, right? So we can safely skip it as currently we are not doing any updates, right? So this is installed, but if you remember, we forgot to install the Docker, the runtime. So what I have to do, I have to do a apt install docker.io. This is required. Container runtime. So I'm using Docker as the container runtime. So this is installed. See here, just use common sense, follow the instructions, understand what you are doing. That's more important rather than just cramming the commands, right? Once it is done, I have to just enable the services, restart the daemon. Let it wait. It's going to be a very interesting one. And this can be your exam objective also, because if you go through the new syllabus of the CKA, the upgrade is objective, the installation of the Kubernetes cluster is objective, right? So it is installed. Now all I have to do is that systemctl start docker and systemctl enable docker, and then I do a systemctl daemon reload, and I do a systemctl kubelet start, right? Start kubelet and enable it, obviously. So enable kubelet, right? Everything is done, working fine. Now is my node ready? So if I give a kubectl get nodes, no, it's not ready, right? Why? Because we had just installed the packages, we hadn't initialized the cluster. So next thing is that I need to create a cluster. Only the packages are installed. So you need to go to the kubeadmin init command. That is the command which is going to initialize the cluster. So if you click there, if I go back here, that's the next step. Using kubeadm to create cluster. Again, don't remember it. Look up. Now you can use the kubeadm init. It will show you here. Kubeadm init and the arguments can be given there, right? So I want you to focus on the arguments here. Couple of things which we are going to use, like the API server address, advertise address. Why I have to use the API advertise address? Because if you give you IP address show, I have got two interfaces. So using the API advertise address, I have to specify that which interface the Kubernetes should be listening or talking with the nodes. Obviously, I cannot use the one which is connected to the internet. I have to use this one, right? So I have to use this option, API server advertise address. Another thing which I can use, it's not mandatory. You should refer this. Always refer kubeadm reference guide. I open it in a new tab. Make it a habit, guys. Kubeadm init. So if I do a kubeadm init here, that's the one. So these are the options. So I will be using couple of them, like API advertise address and the IP address, right? So that means I should be writing like this, kubeadm init, and I paste it from there. That's the reason I had done the SSH. It's easy for me. I copy this, I open the terminal here, paste it, and specify my IP 10.0.0.100. That is the IP on which the Kubernetes should be talking to the nodes, not the NAT one, right? Perfect. One more thing which I want is to ignore any installation errors. So this is the option, ignore pre-flight errors. So I copy this. I'm just focusing on the one which are relevant for you at this stage. That's all. So you need to initialize the cluster. In case your machine has got multiple LAN cards, only then you have to specify this. Though it is always good to like be very explicit and specify that which particular interface to use. And ignore pre-flight errors means just ignore all the things, move forward, press enter. Now this is actually going to configure your cluster. So just wait for a while, it won't take much time, and within a couple of minutes our Kubernetes master should be ready, and the command to check the cluster should be available. It will take time as it's going to download the images from the internet. Fortunately, I have a good internet speed here, so it won't take much time. So if you are noticing what I'm doing, I am not like focusing on cramming these commands that you have to do this, understand the logic, read the documentation, access the guides, the documentation, and then do the job. You have to be smart. You need not to like mug up the commands. That's all. It's going to be fast, perfect, right? So all things are being done. This is the address 10.0.0.100, and what I want you to check is that you should understand the, just read this, create static pod manifest. What is static pods? We might discuss it later on, but that's the location where the static pods goes. Fine, it's done. My Kubernetes control is being initialized successfully. All I have to do is that create these directories and copy the files to make it work. So copy it, paste it. No rocket science here. It's very simple. Just follow the instructions. I'm copying the config file in my home directory, right, and changing the ownership. Copy it, paste it here. And guys, this is the command to deploy a pod network, like we also call it a overlay network, right? And see here, this gives you the location also where you can find the kind of the overlay network or the pod networks available. So with the version 1.19 Kubernetes CNCF recommend using Calico. So earlier you might have used the ViewNet and all like the flannel. So I can either go here, Kubernetes IO documentation, click here and refer it. And this is the join command. This is the command which I had to execute on all the nodes, but we will not be doing it right now. Because if I show you here, now see it, if I do a kubectl get nodes, my node will never be ready. Your node will never be ready. So if your node is not coming ready, that means the pod network, right, the overlay network is not still configured. So you need to configure a overlay network, right, pod network. So I can either go here, cluster administration add-ons, or I can simply go here, and if I write here say cube ADM HA cluster, right, you can just remember certain keywords and you will find the overlay networks here. Here it is. This is it. So they are using the ViewNet, but don't use the ViewNet, right? We will be following the Calico. So that's great. So how to check it? Let me tell you. So this is specifying the ViewNet, but we can look for other ones, like I will show you the networks. So there are multiple plugins available. CNI network documentation, you can go here and check it. So Calico is the one which is required or is being recommended. So I click here, and or I can search the Calico here, Calico, search for it, cluster network, here it is. So just these are the supported overlay networks. You can use flannel and all that. Project Calico, just click here, you will get it, right, and install it. Install Calico Kubernetes, here it is. So mine is a self-managed on-premise, so I copy this, click here, install Calico for on-premise deployments. It's very simple, guys. Just download this file, this is the instruction set, and paste it here, because unless you have a pod network, your node will never come up. So I paste it here, right. I got a calico.yaml file. The next thing that I have to do is that install it, and they have the instructions here also. Copy and paste it, right. So I again move there and I paste it. That's all. It's the Calico is being installed successfully. Yes, it's being created. How can I check? If you give a cube Cctl get pods, namespace is the cube system, right? You will see this Calico is getting initialized. It might take some time. So I can see it. This pod has got 3 containers inside it, right? 0, 3, right? 2 are initialized. So if I give the kubectl get nodes, yep, it's ready. So that's how you have successfully added or like configured your Kubernetes master, right, without stressing yourself. Now we have the master available, and if I again show it, this command is very important. You should make sure that every container in the all the pods, sorry, in the kube system should be running. So they will be running automatically, right? So need not to worry about it. So the best part to check it is that my kubectl get node should be running. Wonderful. So it is version 1.18. So as I've told you, we will be upgrading it to 1.19. How to install the node? Very simple. Go to the node. You have to repeat the same steps what you have done for the control node, right? So search again for the kubeadm install. Install here, click here. You know the things. Enable the bridging here, copy it, and now I'll be doing it on node 1, right? Okay, my swap is off and my yes. So enable the bridging, configure it, make sure your kats.conf or whatever the file name is there, it should be coming here. Now install the packages. Now I have to be careful. I have to install the same version, right? So I will be updating it first. You can also create a script for it. Copy the script. It will automatically do it for you. But it's good to do it manually, right? Though we already have a video on how to do it using the Ansible, which is good if you are in a production setup and you have got huge number of machines, a large number of machines, but you need to learn to do it manually. So you also remember the concepts and why I am doing this, what is the error, how to troubleshoot it, right? So the update is done. The next thing is that obviously I need to add the key. And in case you are running on RHEL machine, so you need not to worry, just need to click here and follow these instructions. That's all. Add the repository and install the packages. All I have to do is that I need to make sure I will be using the version, right? 1.18. Update it because you've added the repository. Now either you can copy and paste it from this machine. Remember this, right? On the node 1, or from the control, sorry, not on the node 1. You can copy this one It's much more easier. Copy and paste it here so that we don't do any typo for the versions and all the things. 1.18.8-00 is the one which we are going to be installing. That's the one, 1.18.8-00. So the naming convention is the major number, the minor number, the patch. That is how the naming goes. I also need to install the Docker. Don't forget that. Right. So all I will do is I'll just do a apt install docker io. Install the Docker. It's good. It's fast. The documentation is real good, and the idea is that objective is that you should understand it. Let's wait for a while. It won't take much time. So I hope all of you are working from home, and I'm also working from home. It's long since I had gone to office, but it's fun exploring new ways of online things and talking to you all. I hope you are also checking those updates, the daily updates which are coming on Instagram and Facebook and Telegram also. We are also on the Telegram. I'll show it to you. So why don't we join us on Telegram also? Okay, it's being done. So the Docker is done. Just start the services. Systemctl start Docker. Systemctl enable Docker. Right. Systemctl daemon reload. And systemctl start kubelet. And enable the kubelet. Systemctl enable kubelet. Right, that's one. Wonderful. All I have to do is that I need to copy and paste that join command here, right? So the packages are installed. I have done all the things. Obviously it's not the master, so I will not be going to the cluster part. All I will be doing is and I don't need the pod network. The pod network is supposed to be deployed only on the master. If I scroll up on the master, on the control, I just need to copy that. Join one. Yeah. Copy this. You can keep it with you and just paste it here. One thing which I recommend is that ignore errors stuff. Where it is. So I want that. I will request you to use the ignore pre-flight errors all while you are doing the setup. Paste it, press enter. That's all. Right, so the node has joined the cluster, right? So I should be going to the node. I will highly recommend to just do a systemctl daemon reload once everything is done and restart the kubelet, right? Sometimes it takes time. So just restart it. Go to the node, and if I run the kubeadm get nodes, I should be getting both my nodes ready. Okay, it's not, just wait for a while. It won't take much time. But it's coming up. So you can repeat the same steps on the node 2. So all the nodes will be ready. So let's do that on node 2 also, right? Okay. I'll go to the node 2 meanwhile, and I'll just check it first. What's the problem? Do I need to do fine? Everything is fine. I just need a daemon reload once again, no problem. And let's check it. Oh, something is not good. It should be coming. Yeah, it's ready. It might have taken some time. Right. So after 66 seconds, so you can check the time also around after one minute. Right. It will be ready. So both the nodes are ready. So my cluster is running successfully with one control node and one node. So let us repeat the same here. Right. So it's very simple stuff. Now I need not to explain all these things to you. Enable the bridging. I'm doing it so that we will have our full cluster ready for the future videos, and now you know the benefit of configuring the NAT. Otherwise I have to hop from machine to machine, which can be a really pain at wrong places in my body. Am I allowed to say this here? I don't think so. No problem. Just don't share this, right? Add the key. Share the video. Guys, please subscribe it. Share your comments. I would love to have your comments. Curl command is not found. Okay. No problem. I'll do it. Oh, let me clear this up and let me try it again. Oh, could not get the lock. What's the problem? Should I do a update here? Just a minute. I'll just try to do update. apt-get update. Okay, let's try it again. Hey, what's the problem? Waiting for the cache lock? Something is wrong. It's held by the process. Unattended. Okay. So, I hope this is done successfully. Let me try it again. Else I'll kill that. Not a big deal. Unable to acquire. Is this another process running? 1953 unattended upgrade. This is the package one, so I'll try to kill it. 1953. We know the stuff. Let me check it now. Yes. So Linux skills will always help you. Okay, so we had installed it. Then I should just do the curl, get the keys, paste it here, right, and then finally add the repository. It's so fast. Once you understand the concept, trust me, it's so fast. You will be able to do it very fast. You can safely ignore the hold one. I'll tell you the importance of this when we will be doing the upgrade from 1.18 to 1.19. Not today. Okay, the versions need to be specific, so I'll copy the versions from here. Copy it from here. Install the Docker also. So see how we are syncing ourselves with the Kubernetes.io documentation, which is very important for if you are aspiring for the CKA certifications. And a lot of our students had already cleared the certifications. I'm so happy about that. A couple of them have scored around 96 marks also from out of 100. So it's wonderful. Feel good. You feel good. Yes, you feel good when your students are doing good in life. You feel good. Right. So ignore this hold one. Install the Docker. Now it's very simple. I just need to install the Docker, start the service, and then copy and paste that join command here again. That's all. Our cluster will be ready, done manually on Ubuntu machines using everything from the legal, authentic, legit documentation, which you are allowed to access in the exam also. Just wait for a while. So how your quarantine things are going on? Share on the right in the comments what new skills you are getting. What are the rose movements for you and the thorn movements. Rose means happy, and thorn obviously means some sad things which you have gone through. Might be some injury like I had it. I had a very bad ligament injury on my I think left knee, and I was not able to walk for around 2 months. But now I'm good. Okay, what we had done, we had just installed the Docker, right? Start the service, systemctl start Docker. Sometimes we deviate, we take a detour from the topic, which is good, fine. Right, your life should not be boring. Systemctl, what to do? Daemon reload and kubectl, right? Kubelet, sorry. Start and enable. It takes time, don't worry, don't panic. Right, final thing, right? Copy this command and paste it there. That's all, guys. Copy it. Oh, I'll copy it again. Copy it, paste it on Node 2. Wonderful. And once it is done, as a precaution, just do a daemon reload. Will take some time, though it's not mentioned here, but I will suggest you to do a daemon reload and do a restart of the kubelet. That's all, not mandatory, but kubelet. Perfect. If I go here, I should be getting 2 nodes. Not ready, not a problem. We'll wait for those genuines. The last experience 66 seconds. Refresh it. Okay, 31 seconds, not ready. Let's see if it really comes after 66 seconds. Earlier it was after 66 seconds, right? Okay, 42. Yeah, oh no, it is ready at 42 seconds now. Right. So no benchmark as such that it will always come after 66 seconds. But yes, our cluster is ready. That is all I wanted you to share. I hope this is going to give you a lot of confidence that you can create a cluster yourself. And referring the documentation, this is an important exam objective. If I share the new exam objectives, just a minute. So installation is one of the part. If I go to this is just don't see all other stuff. This is what I want you to focus. So these are the new exam objectives. So installing a cluster is a exam objectives, and which has got a weightage of around 25%. I hope you are able to see this. I'll make it more bigger, make it right, that's it. And then upgrading a cluster also is a part, so which we will be covering. So things have changed a bit from 1st of September. So that's our Network Nuts Kubernetes training. I'll make it 200%. Yeah, she's not our student, right? So please don't. So that's the course, the exam objectives, and yes, obviously the solid knowledge of Docker is required for all these things, and these are the objectives. So we had just covered the installation part. That's all for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next video. We might be doing the version upgrade. So thank you guys. Do subscribe us if you hadn't done it. This is not good, right? Subscribe it. Share your comments. Share your rose movements and the thorn movements. I'll be waiting it. And how you like this video. That's again very important. And share it. Spread the good word. Bye bye guys. Take care. God bless. I'll be seeing you soon.